But Meta is now facing a major trial in the United States. Meta is the company that owns Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. The case is about children and teenagers. The US states involved in the case say Meta designed its platforms to keep young people online for as long as possible. They also accuse Meta of misleading parents and the public about the risks. The trial began on Tuesday in a federal court in Oakland, California. 29 US states are involved in the lawsuit. 4 states are leading the case in court. They are California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey. California Deputy Attorney General Megan O'Neill gave the opening argument for the states. She made a very strong accusation against Meta. She said Meta's business model was simple. First, hook the users, then keep them on the platforms for as long as possible, then collect their data, and finally, hide the truth from the public. O'Neill said this business model also worked on children. She told the jury that Meta knew children were especially sensitive to social rewards and social approval. She said Meta knew how young people's minds worked. And she said the company used this knowledge when designing its platforms. The states say features such as infinite scrolling and autoplay were designed to keep users engaged. Infinite scrolling means there is no clear end to the feed. A user can simply keep scrolling. Autoplay means a video starts playing automatically. The states also point to notifications and recommendation algorithms. These features can encourage people to return to the apps again and again. The states say Meta knew about possible harms to young people. They claim the company had internal research showing problems among young users. They also accuse Meta of interfering with some of its own research into mental health and well-being. O'Neill told the jury that Meta was worried about what its research might reveal. She said the company restricted access to some research. The states also accused Meta of misleading the public. O'Neill said Meta told Congress parents and social media users that Facebook and Instagram were safe for children, but she said Meta knew there were serious risks. She told the jury, in effect, that the public was not given the full truth. The states are also raising concerns about children under the age of 13. They say many children under 13 were using Meta's platforms, even though the company's policies do not allow them to have normal accounts. O'Neill referred to internal estimates suggesting that about 20% of 11-year-olds and 30% of 12-year-olds in the United States were using Instagram. She argued that these young children were not simply accidental users. She said Meta knew they were there. The states also challenged Meta's safety tools. For example, Meta has a daily time limit tool. The states say this tool does not really stop children from using the apps. They argue that a child can simply ignore or dismiss the limit. O'Neill said the tool was more useful for Meta's public image than for actually reducing children's screen time. But Meta strongly rejects these accusations. Meta lawyer Paul Schmidt asked the jury to keep an open mind. He said the states were presenting selected statements from Meta employees and documents. He argued that some of those statements used informal language. For example, one employee once described Instagram as being like a drug. Schmidt said the jury would hear the full explanation behind such comments. Meta also says it has worked for years to protect young people. The company points to parental controls and other safety features. It also says it actively removes accounts belonging to children under 13. Schmidt said Meta had removed about 600,000 accounts made by people under 13 during the previous 3 months. He also challenged the idea that social media addiction has been scientifically established. He said Meta recognizes that some people struggle to control their social media use, but he argued that this does not prove that Facebook and Instagram were designed to be addictive. The states, however, say the issue is much bigger than simply whether people enjoy using social media. They argue that Meta deliberately designed features to keep users engaged. They also say the company collected children's personal data, and they accuse Meta of violating child privacy laws. One important law in the case is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, known as COPPA. The law is designed to protect children under 13 when they use online services. The states are asking for major changes to Facebook and Instagram. They want stronger age verification. They want changes to recommendation algorithms. They want an end to autoplay. They also want restrictions on disappearing posts such as Instagram stories, and they want changes to other features that they say encourage excessive use. The case could become very important for the future of social media. If the states win, Meta could face huge financial penalties. The company could also be forced to change some of the ways Facebook and Instagram work, and the result could affect other social media companies as well. This is not the first major legal battle Meta has faced over young people's safety. Meta is already facing thousands of lawsuits across the United States. Earlier this year, a Los Angeles jury found Meta and Google liable in a case involving social media addiction and harm to a young woman. Meta and Google said they disagreed with that decision and planned to appeal. Now, another major case is being heard in California. This trial is expected to last between 6 and 8 weeks. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is expected to testify. The central question is simple. Did Meta simply create popular social media platforms, or did it knowingly design those platforms to keep children and teenagers using them for longer while failing to properly protect them?